Alright, level 0, being the longest level, was actually quite difficult to do. So, like that first part especially, that took like 5 minutes to get right, which is kind of sad. But, and then the, parkour section here. Well, you have to die, so I showed that part. And then the successful attempt. I think this only took like I think I only failed this part once, but still though, I would have liked to not have failed it. So this part, you can just completely skip doing the door glitch. And I kind of screwed up right at that part of the maze because I forgot which way to go. And then sprint jumping under a roof speeds you up a lot. I wish I would have done that there. I just kind of forgot. This part, the first attempt, I ran out of, or I didn't run out of hunger bars, but I got low enough on food to the point where I couldn't sprint anymore, so that screwed me up. But and then there's this part. I don't know if I had to go into water, but the damage probably would have messed me up while trying to do the parkour. At this part, as the hint ghost says, you can skip most of the parkour from that part. And then this is the most difficult checkpoint to get. I'm being sarcastic, but yeah, I probably could have jumped over that pressure plate, but I decided to play it safe. And one time I actually picked right instead of left there, so that was kind of an epic fail. Right is not right in this scenario. In this case, and I messed this up at one point, so I showed a few frames of sleeping in the bed because it took just as many frames to enter in the /timeset night command, and immediately after I entered that in, I died. And then there's this maze. There was a part where I tried to do the trick that lets me get up on the wall, but I failed. But rather than restarting, I decided to just finish the maze because it wasn't really worth restarting the entire thing for. So yeah, right here. I tried to get on top of the wall, but I couldn't. And then you can skip this parkour and run up the fences to go up the staircase faster. You can't run up these though, you have to actually jump, obviously. And then I sprint jumped up that staircase. I don't know if that actually speeds you up, but it feels like it does. And then I failed this part a few times. For some reason, I'm quite proud of myself for hitting that checkpoint like that. I don't know why, it's just pretty cool looking. Alright, level 1. I surprisingly didn't actually fail this level. I did run into that fence, which kind of slowed me down. But it wasn't anything bad. I didn't like die or anything. That would be kind of embarrassing if I did, to be honest. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about that level. Alright, this one was pretty bad, as you can probably already tell by the, not very smooth transition between changing the time and respawning. But, yeah, like, I failed a lot. Like that jump, for example. And, there was a part later on where, like, starting at the church, I was failing a lot, which is probably not a good thing. But, yeah, I hit that checkpoint, and then respawning actually slowed me down a little bit, but it wasn't too terrible. And I actually missed that jump, but I could still recover from it. And then, yeah, this went terribly. I think this took like 4 tries or something. But yeah, I ended up completing level in 1 minute and 20 seconds. The sad thing about this level is I actually failed it once somehow. When I was, well, you'll see. Well, kind of. Yeah, at this part, I actually fell into lava. Alright, so level 4, I can't get out. This one, I didn't actually fail this one, which is good, because if I did, then I would just stop trying to do the run. I didn't even have to hit the checkpoint for 3. Alright, level 5, Bowser's Revenge. The first time I ran out of hunger, and the second time, I failed. You are allowed to put out that fire. There is a fire that I accidentally put out later on that I wasn't supposed to, but that didn't really save me any time anyway. I probably would have just ran into it. Or like jumped over it or something. But yeah, there was level 5, 30 seconds. Alright, this one was quite a fail. I died a lot at a lot of different parts. First off, I fell a lot at this part. Well, not a lot of different parts. Just like, mainly this part, and, a part coming up that I just failed miserably at. Also, I had face cam enabled for this one because I was failing so much. I don't know why I turned on the face cam, to be honest, but, I messed up a bit at that part by not jumping onto the ladder. And then, this part, I failed it way too much. I kept trying to jump from, like, the wrong block, or I kept missing an easy jump by, like, 1 block. And this part, I could have, just jumped down, but I decided to play it safe and ride the water slide thing. Anyway, alright, so, level 7. The Diary of a Wimpy Kid based level. There's not really, well, you can fail the parkour later on, but, other than that, there's not really a way to die in this level. You cannot run up those fences, because I think I put invisible walls there or something. And, I'm not sure if you can get on top of that or not, and even if you could, I'm not sure if you could just skip going under. And even if you could, I'm not sure if that would save time, but, and then I ran out of hunger at this part, which definitely slowed me down, but, I was still able to get to level 8. Alright, level 8. This one took a few tries. As you can see, I kept falling, and at the beginning, for some reason I typed the entire command instead of just doing the shortcut. This part right here, I decided to sneak. I could have saved time by not sneaking, but I was getting frustrated and I was dying too many times, so I decided to just not do that. Level 9, Herobrine's Curse. This one, I probably could have gotten the speed and, like, and skipped the poison, but I decided to just go with it. And the cobwebs slowed me down a lot, and so did the milk, but it was worth it. This level was terrible. So I failed it. There will probably be an outtake, like, at the end of the video or something, because it was quite amazing. And then, yeah, I fell in the lava there. And then this is also the level of the fire that I accidentally put out by instinct right there. And then I had to wait for the door to open. And this level was just, I was like freaking on fire the entire time. This level, I'm honestly surprised that I didn't fail it. Because, like, there's that jump there, which is honestly kind of easy. But then this part coming up, like, I honestly expected to have at least caught on fire, but no. And somehow I was able to keep my sprint throughout this part, or at least until the end, which is honestly kind of surprising. So that was one of my best levels. This level was a bit of a train wreck. I used this shortcut here. The first time I didn't, and I failed miserably. Not as bad as in level 10, but still pretty bad. And then I fell at this part once. But after that, I was pretty much fine. And I ate here. I didn't need to, but I did. Alright, level 13. On my first attempt at this part, I actually fell into lava. But, and then, at some point, I end up jumping into one of the gates. Yeah, right there. And then I missed the hole at that part. But other than that, I did pretty okay at this level. I wouldn't say I did good, but I did okay. Alright, this level was kind of strange. I did the first part was perfect. I did it correctly on my first attempt. This was my first attempt that you're seeing right now. And, I'm honestly surprised I was able to get it right in one try. Now, the boss fight part, it went kind of strange. On one of my attempts, I actually landed on his nose when I spawned, which gave me a diamond. On another attempt, I got to the checkpoint and I accidentally used /kill instead of /times at night. It was kind of... Alright, so, level 16. My dog was barking in the background while I did this level. I messed up a bit hitting the buttons on time, as you can see. Level 17. The only thing that really went wrong with this level was for some reason I stopped to put on the armor, even though it was completely unnecessary. So, yeah. And then this did cause a problem in a later level, but yeah. It's for later, obviously. So. This part's pretty much luck-based because of the freaking skeleton from the last level, which can trigger the teleport button, which can spam your chat and cause you to miss a jump, so that's annoying. But, yeah, that actually happened to me a few times. The skeleton triggered the teleport button, and, yeah, that caused me to teleport to the ground, which was kind of annoying. And I had to take my time on these jumps because, obviously, I couldn't see where the blocks were, without looking at the ground. And, I was able to skip the last jump. And then this part, which gives you slowness, is also pretty annoying. And then, yeah, you can skip 2 jumps from that. So, yeah, I saved a lot of time by landing in that fence. And then, not to brag, but I'm honestly quite proud of myself for memorizing the invisible block pathway. Because, even though I made it, I don't really remember the exact path. So I pretty much just got lucky there. And, yeah, the water slows you down, which is annoying. And then I closed this chest, like, as soon as I opened it. And I shouldn't have knocked that giant in front of that gate, because that slowed me down a bit. And, yeah. This one went pretty terribly. Yeah, I kept falling off of slime blocks and stuff, which is really annoying. And, yeah, you can see how I messed up. And then I probably could have skipped a few jumps there, but I decided not to risk it, because I was getting frustrated of failing at this level over and over again. And at this point, you basically just run forward and succeed. And then, yeah, I could have died there, but I didn't, thankfully. And then there's a slime which you can sprint jump through. And then it's on to the next level. I took way too much time with this one. And, I ended up not even finishing it. I took a break, like, halfway through. I might resume the speedrun at some point, but probably not anytime soon. So, yeah, as you can see, I was very slow to make these jumps. And then, the checkpoint is all the way across the area. And, my friend messaged me immediately after I got to this checkpoint. I was running out of hunger, so I decided to intentionally kill myself to refill it, and I responded while I was on a "you died" screen. So, anyway, yeah, at this point, I think I just forgot that I was trying to speedrun, and, yeah, it kind of sucked. That's it for now.